Use the referral link in the description to g2a.com for all of your Xbox codes, PlayStation codes and video games, and be sure to use the code CHES at checkout to get yourself 3% cash back. Hey guys, welcome to episode 13 here in Season 7 of the Career Mode RTG. It's the day of days. Today we find out whether we will or will not win the Premier League trophy, finish in the top 4, finish in 5th, or finish completely outside the European spots altogether. And there's the FA Cup final thrown into the mix as well. Help me, Jesus. We have 2 games of the season remaining, away against Leicester and away against Chelsea. The Chelsea game comes 24 hours after the FA Cup final. Because we just played Blackburn the previous weekend, my side isn't at full fitness to play the game against Leicester. So I'm going to have to slightly rotate a little bit for this one, and then hope that everybody's fully fit for the FA Cup final. If not, I'm going to have to slightly rotate in every single game. Because I want to... It's good. It's a real tough one. It's a real tough one. We'll start with Leicester away. What I might do for this first one, because with the FA Cup final in mind, obviously I want Gerzic and Leao to be at full stamina. But looks like Leicester aren't going to be at full stamina themselves either. So we'll have a quick look at the team management. What can we do for their side? To be fair, their side looks pretty strong already. Vasalco at right back could maybe come out. Weah could go up top, but Belotti they've got in there instead. Bruma at cam maybe, and drop Lewis Cook to centre mid. We could certainly do that to help strengthen their team. Other than that, I'm pretty sure that's the best that they can throw at us. And then with my team, I'm going to put Tom Davies in for Moreles. Other than that, I'm going to put Monye in for Gerzic. And then Adebayo played in the last game, didn't he? So Suarez Garcia is going to have to go in there. I will put Harrison on the bench. I will put Edwards on the bench. Let's put Jaden Bogle in there too. And Patrick Turner. This is it. Premier League title or no? Champions League football next season or no? Europa League football via a league finish or no? No European football whatsoever? Or maybe Europa League football via an FA Cup win? Don't know. Let's go and find out. Monye. Cross there to Diogo Dalot. Out to Ziegler. Monye's made the run. Rafael Leao is there. 3 points in... Oh, he was going to be offside there. I'm glad that didn't make it through. 3 points in this game, and we are guaranteed Champions League football. It's as simple as that for this first game. Win, and we get Champions League football. And then it doesn't matter what happens against Chelsea or against Manchester City in the Cup. We certainly have European football for next season. The only question remains then whether we have... Oh, what a save. Whether we get a trophy or not. If we win this game, then the question is, will we get a trophy or not? And European football is guaranteed. Oh, we skipped past that challenge well. But Leicester are not going to be easy to beat, especially at home, especially with the strength of their starting lineup. But if we can start off as strong as we have done, I hold out hope. Torreira. Oh, wasn't meant to go to Suarez Garcia. It's meant to go to Tom Davies, and now I'm in trouble. Bruma plays the 1-2. Now he's in behind. Bruma. Nice turn. Politano. There's a lot on the line here for Leicester as well, of course. They're challenging for European football next season. So there's a reason why there's loads of blue shirts flooding forward whenever they get on the counter-attack or on any sort of attack whatsoever. It's because they need to win to keep their European hopes alive as well. So much on the line for every side we play today. Leicester in the hunt for European title, for European football, as we say. Obviously, the FA Cup final means a lot to both sides. And then Chelsea, who we play in the final game of the season, they're challenging for the title and for European football as well, depending on what happens in the remaining games this particular match day. All or nothing in every single game. It literally is one cup final, but the old adage of every game is going to feel like a cup final, it literally is that way for us right now. Unbelievable scenes at the end of the season. This is by far the most tense end of a season we've had in the entire series so far. And I have no idea what's going to happen, and that's what makes it all the more exciting. And potentially all the more devastating should everything go wrong, which it has the potential to do, and with me, sometimes does. Now, This is well worked. Monye needs to get a good turn in here, and he has done. He's found Lucas Torreira, who somehow has held off everybody there. What an absolute bulldog in the middle of the park. That pass was supposed to go to Tom Davies. The second one did. There's Monye and Leao. Great turn. Monye. Is that a pen? Oh, should that be a penalty? Is Rafael brought down? I'll let you guys decide. I think it's quite clear that he was brought down. He gets his shirt tugged on the edge of the box there, and then he kicks the back of the defender. If anything, it's a minimal free kick on the edge of the box. Maybe a penalty for the defender sticking his leg in, trying to block the shot. I'm not sure. On such things, very, very important things for next season and for this season will be decided. Forward, Monye just holds off the man, and Ziegler is found. Will turn, will scoop it, and can Tom Davies get on the end of that? No. Dalot will recover though. Actually switched to the other wing back. Was the intended pass. We'll try it a second time. There we go. Firpo, Suarez Garcia calling for it. Quick look for Tom Davies, but not find him. It's been a difficult game here against Leicester. They're playing very well, but we are putting the pressure on. He was with the throw back. Suarez Garcia spins well. Leicester have Manchester City on the final day. So as things get pretty crazy for us with Chelsea, they're just as mental. Oh, that's so unlucky. They're just as mental for Leicester. With Leicester, ourselves and Chelsea all play each other. And Manchester City all play. I think City are actually playing Chelsea now as well. I'm pretty sure I glanced that in the halftime menus. I might be mistaken. I know City are playing at the moment. That's so unfortunate for Leicester, but that is exactly what I needed to make the breakthrough in this game. 10 minutes into the second half, Ziegler's 12th goal of the Premier League season. He's really stepped up this season. Last season's lack of goals made me question his position in the side, but he has stepped up this year and justified your guys' defence of his starting spot. As things stand, his goal might be the one now that has guaranteed us Champions League football for next season and our first ever season in any form of European football with Cambridge United. Davies tried to squeeze that but couldn't. Lerma intercepts and Katic will look to build again. They're going slowly here, Leicester. Half an hour to go. Back to Dalot. I am still going to try and push for a second goal, just to give myself some breathing room, because I know how shaky I can be defensively. Torreira lucky there, getting caught in possession. Monye with a good first touch to hold off the defender. Will look for Ziegler first time, then cut back and turn. He's done very well there, Ziegler. Very well indeed. I'll dink this looking for Monye, who will bring it down well. It'll drop to Suarez Garcia and he'll miss the target. I'm so nervous with everything on the line in this episode. I don't know whether I'm making right decisions, wrong decisions, rash decisions, well thought out decisions. Only time and final results will tell. Monye to Leao. Tom Davies making the breakthrough. Tom Davies from midfield. We will look for Benedict Monye. The chance to put yourself into Cambridge United folklore, Benedict. Your place in the squad, even at the club, is in question in the comment section the past couple of episodes as to whether we should maybe sell you on next season for a fee and replace you with someone better and more effective. I think that missed opportunity might well seal Benedict Monye's fate. Bruma around the corner to Tratsa Belotti. Tratsa Lewis Kirk. Held by Paul Lopez. Take your time, Chesnoid. Seconds to go between us and Champions League football. We're so very nearly there. 2 minutes added on at the end of the game. I could send Monye through. Is he going to make up for the miss a moment ago? No, he's not. That'll be a goal kick. That'll be the final whistle. We qualify for Champions League football in season number 8. Ziegler's goal, a very tight game. City were playing today, and they played Bournemouth and beat Bournemouth, so I needed that win, really. Liverpool beat Manchester United. I'm not sure what that does for the league table, but up next for us is Manchester City. Cataralda's happy to be getting some football. Up next for us is Manchester City in the FA Cup final, then Chelsea the very next day. Like I mentioned in the last episode, that issue is now fixed. It has been patched. Unfortunately for me, it was patched when it was patched, it only affects new saves and not current saves. So you guys won't have that issue in your saves, or your new saves, the same way that I am here. That looks like a pretty strong Manchester City starting lineup, doesn't it? Really, I don't think there's much else I could do there. Cisco is out injured. That's as strong as they could get, really. Okay, what can I do to freshen up? I might take Torreira out for Oscar Hill. Other than that, I'm not sure there's too much else I can do. We just have to hope for the best. FA Cup final time. Lovely ball down the line for Gabriel Jesus. He's turned me well. It's a good ball in as well. Dalot just takes no risks, which I'm happy about. I'm okay with him doing that. Sterling to take the corner into Bernardo Silva. Last time we played City, it ended 2-2. And Raheem Sterling was very, very good for Manchester City in that game. Okay, Morelos breaking forwards here. Oscar Hill in support. Ziegler is out wide. Gerzic made a good run, but I wasn't able to find him because he ran offside. Morelos could find Ademola Lookman. We lead in the FA Cup final. You cannot leave that man in that much amount of space. He's not had the best of seasons, Ademola Lookman. What a ball by Morelos, though, to find him. And a tidy finish as well. Early doors in the FA Cup final. We are 1-0 up. Given away. Given away by City. Layout shows great strength. Gerzic will put that through for Ziegler. I think he's just offside. We'll find out in a moment. Yes, he is. I thought so in the build-up. And just the wrong side of the defender there. Herbert Ziegler. It's tight, but it is the right call. We could be 2-0 up. We aren't. Morelos into Hill. Out wide to Ziegler. Layout. Javier Morelos. It's 2-0 Cambridge. The assist for the first goal. The goal for the second. Javier Morelos makes it Cambridge 2, Manchester City 0. Are we on course for FA Cup glory? It's the first season that we've really given the Cup a proper good run. Actually committed to it. To the detriment, at times, of our league campaign. But it may well be paying off here at Wembley. Oh, what a cross. What a clearance. Oscar Hill. Wow. Here's Gabamin. Still can score here, City, and pull it back within question. But they've given the ball away. Gerzic. Lovely turn. And then the acceleration to get away. Oh my God, Ballo-Touré. The acceleration and sprint speed to keep up with me. Christ alive. Oh, that's nice football. Morelos. Gerzic is making the run. We'll look for someone. It'll be Ademola Lookman. It'll drop free. And at the back post, waiting. Ziegler back into the middle. Oh, cleared away. Oh, I thought it might have just worked for me. It still might. They've given it away again, City. Gerzic. Oscar Hill will look for Rafael Leao, who turns well but can't get the shot away. 7 minutes to go till half-time. Sterling set away in behind. Stamina is playing a big role in this game so far. City's players are tired. My players are tired, but we have a 2-0 lead. Will that 2-0 lead last until the break? Gabamin to Kenny Tet. Back to Gabamin again. Here's Bernardo Silva. He's dribbling his next level, but he's not able to get away from me. Rafael Leao. Great strength. Brilliant strength. Oh, and an ingenious ball in behind Ballo-Touré. Ziegler will look for Oscar Hill. Hill to Gerzic. Gerzic further across. It's Javier Morelos again. It's through the keeper. It's 3-0 Cambridge. In the 45th minute, we are going to win the FA Cup bar a mesmeric collapse.
Shocking moment for the player. Look at him, he's distraught.
Oh, wow. Oh, it's going to go down as an own goal. That shot was nowhere near on target. It skews off to the leftlet. Oh, no, it wasn't actually. It was the deflection off the keeper onto the defender that then made it go in. It's going to go down as a Kenny Tet own goal. I didn't see initially the deflection off the keeper. I just thought Morelos had kicked it horribly wide and against the defender. As it happens, it was a good save by Ederson, but then the defender was in too close a proximity to him. And it rebounds off Kenny Tet into the back of the net. We have a 3-0 lead as we are moments away from half-time. Can we keep that 3-0 lead until half-time? Maybe. Minute 50 of the first half. Bernardo Silva delivers again. The keeper will come and punch. And the referee should do me a favour and does. 3-0 up at half-time. Going better than I could possibly have imagined. Bernardo Silva, tackled by Oscar Hill. Ziegler to Gerzic. I'm getting lucky. I'm getting so very lucky in this game. I can't quite believe it's going the way it is so far. Gerzic looking for Moreles. Could he get another one now? Oh, Edison does make the save this time and it doesn't hit a defender. And it stays out. Lookman with the delivery. Perella underneath it. What a header off the bar. I mentioned in the last episode how many times I've been hitting the bar recently and how frustrating it had been. Had this still been at 0-0, it would have been even more frustrating. But somehow, somewhen, we're 3-0 up here in the FA Cup final. Torre gives that to Ziegler. Around the corner to Gerzic. Here's Javier Moreles. Go back to Gerzic. Drive forward. They've left Rafael Leao open. Here comes Ziegler on the overlap. Ademola Lookman's at the back post. And if Laporte hadn't intercepted, it would have been 4. They're making a change. I have to keep the Chelsea game in mind here, though. That's my problem at the minute. I'm going to put Suarez Garcia out on the right-hand side. I have to keep thinking of the game against Chelsea tomorrow. Literally in-game tomorrow. I presume everybody else is playing in the next in-game day as well on the final day of the Premier League. So City too, who are in the hunt for the title, or at least European football, will have a game tomorrow as well. So we're not the only ones affected by it, thankfully. But we look like we're going to deal with it very well indeed by giving ourselves somehow a massive FA Cup win. Although I'm still not writing anything off, especially with Manchester City involved. Lookman forward to layout. Good footwork, good strength, good pass in the end. Hill. Oh, can't quite get it round the corner, but we still might stand the chance of scoring a 4th. Leao can't quite get to that. Sané looking on the counter for City, but they know they're beaten now. There's certainly not enough time to get 3, maybe 2. Stranger things have been known, but they are taking their time. They're quite happy just to play the ball about. And I can't quite believe that this is going to happen the way that it has. A 3-0 first half lead here against Manchester City. It took a goal very late on against Watford to get past them. Oh, what a through ball, but never mind. It took penalties against Liverpool in the semi-final here at Wembley. But an Ademola Lookman goal, a Javier Moreles goal and a Kenny Tet own goal see Cambridge United win the FA Cup. And we're not even done for today's episode. That's the crazy thing. How many times have we played a cup final like this and then just sat back, loosened the tie on the suit and enjoyed it? But there's still so much left to be played for in less than 24 hours time. But we will enjoy these scenes for the moment. Our scout future star from season 1, Victor Perella, our Portuguese centre-back, will be the man to lift the FA Cup for us. Fitting, I think. Fitting. The only man in the squad outside of Mitov, the goalkeeper, to have survived from season 1. And he's the man to lift our first trophy of the career mode. Thank you, Victor. You may even find yourself getting trained a little bit next year. We'll wait and see as we look to take on European football. But we'll cut those celebrations short because we have to go back now to the FA... Oh, not to the FA Cup. Oh, back from the FA Cup to the Premier League. 24 hours later on the Sunday. Oh, I can't quite believe I just won the FA Cup. I'm not sure what the league table looks like currently. We shall have a look. Right, so... Oh my God, we're level on points with Spurs. And if Spurs lose and Chelsea beat me, Chelsea could win the title from 4th on the final day. Any one of the top 4 on the final day could win the league. We have Chelsea. Tottenham have Bournemouth, annoyingly, who are 17th. So I'm pretty sure Tottenham are going to win the league. And Manchester City have Leicester, who are 6th and can't qualify for any form of European football now that we've beaten them, unfortunately for them. Liverpool could still finish as high as 3rd. Oh, God. You can see the league table. You can do the maths for yourselves. Oh. But my starting lineup is absolutely destroyed. Absolutely destroyed. That's as fit as they're going to be. Oh my God. We could maybe win the Premier League title with my reserve side on the final day of the Premier League season. Let me go to goal news. We've got City on. We've got Spurs on. Right. Chelsea are at full strength and full fitness. I'm probably going to get absolutely mauled here. I'm expecting to get absolutely destroyed. I can't quite believe that this is the way that the team is going to have to look against Chelsea, but it is the way that it's going to have to go. Oh, I could back out. Well, I've already made the changes now to Chelsea's lineup, so I won't back out. I'll just do this manually. Ziegler for Adebayo, Monnier for Leao, Lookman for someone, Lookman for Harrison. Turner can come onto the bench for Moreles. Bogle to start. Perella for Cameron Lee. Can Mancini play at centre back? How tall is he? 5'9". He can play at centre back though, apparently. Cameron Lee can play at centre back too, and he's 5'11", so we'll put Cameron Lee in there. So other than Gerzic, we are actually at almost at full stamina. Poor Gerzic. Right then, Chelsea on the final day for the Premier League title. Although judging by my starting lineup, I really don't think that's going to happen. Charlie Musonda. Oh, space here for Christian Eriksen. Good save by Paul Lopez. That's the best I could hope for there, to be completely honest. He'll take the corner himself after 10 mins, and it's a decent delivery. Tom Davies heads away only as far as Charlie Musonda. I can't really sprint after that with Gerzic because he's knackered already. Eriksen around the corner to Charlie Musonda. Bailey heads that down. Adebayo will clear. Chelsea have dominated the opening stages, as you might well imagine that they were going to. Fire that across there, though, to Benedict Monnier, and then look out wide for Will Harrison, making his debut for the club in quite an important game. Lucas Torreira to Tom Davies. Look for Gerzic. Oh, slight deflection off Militao's toe. To Maxi again. Eriksen. I positioned myself horribly with Lucas Torreira there, but thankfully it hasn't cost me. Might cost him the chance of children, though. Ball cracked against his nether regions. Wan-Bissaka drives inside nicely here for Chelsea. Really well, actually. And we'll find Charlie Musonda, who has the option of Eriksen, goes solo and draws the save out of Paul Lopez. This game was always going to go this way, but if we can catch them, sneak a counter-attack, then you never know. Although the longer I can keep it at... never mind. Literally, as soon as I started to say that sentence, I knew I was going to concede. I was going to say, the longer we can keep it at 0-0, the better chance we have. It was going to be a tall order to score 1. I think it's practically impossible to score 2 now. Good strength to hold off the man. I don't know what I'm doing with the defender. And a 1-0 down. Wonderful. Maxi Romero, his 11th goal of the Premier League season. Not sure on the Tottenham score, but is that goal going to win Chelsea the league title? Davies. Through to Will Harrison on the left-hand side. Racing away as fast as his tiny little legs will take him. Ferland Mendy can only head behind for a corner. We do have some aerial presence. Quite an aerial presence with Elliot Bailey. Whipped in by Adebayo. Kepa punches. Torreira will challenge for the header, but win it is a bit of a far stretch. Gerzic does well, though. Here's Cameron Lee. Ball to Tom Davies. Here's Benedict Monnier. Arriving around the outside is Mancini, the left-back. Good ball in. Oh! Jayden Bogle might well have broken his arm there, but he went for it, and I admire that. Still 1-0 Chelsea. Bogle into Gerzic. Then to Torreira. Through the gap nicely to Benedict Monnier. Tom Davies. This is good football. Gerzic out wide to Dennis Adebayo. Back on that left foot. Whipped well. Gerzic will bring it down. Let fly with the effort. It's deflected and off the top of the bar. It wasn't deflected. It was just a weird effort. I thought it took a deflection off the toe there of the defender. Almost a half finesse there. It dipped at the last and had the keeper scrambling, but top of the bar and over. Again, we hit the woodwork. Maxi Romero through to Bentancur. Mancini cuts it out, but he's going to drop to Bentancur. And the smacked finish into the top corner is rather reminiscent of Maxi Romero's goal in the first half. That's Chelsea 2-0 up here. They could still win the league if Bournemouth score against Tottenham. Chelsea could win the league from 4th. If Bournemouth beat Tottenham, I'm not sure. It will come down to goal difference. I think Chelsea might pip them. Time will tell. Absolutely no idea at this stage. Chelsea have got a Champions League final to play against Juventus at the end of the season as well. Bloody hell. What a season Chelsea are having. To be fair, what a season we've had as well, actually. Give yourself some credit, Cheesenoid. We've had a great year here at Cambridge, winning the FA Cup, going until the final day for the Premier League title, and had the fixtures not screwed us over, or fixture list not screwed us over with the scheduling, we might have stood a decent chance of actually doing the Premier League this season. Nice turn by Harrison. Back there to Tom Davies, looking to bend it, well blocked, and they'll clear their lines. It's a lovely ball down the line, looking for Christian Pulisic. Patrick Turner's somehow keeping up with him. Pulisic into the middle. Bogle will win that header. All right, Paul Lopez. Fair play to the keeper. He decided he wanted that, and off he went. Paul Lopez has had enough this season. He wanted to get involved. He stood there and watched a lot of it. I don't think I've seen a keeper do that in ages, or even at all, from something like that. Benedict Monnier here to Dennis Adebola. Only 2 minutes added on at the end of the game, and Patrick Turner will look for Leao but not find him. That will probably be the end of our Premier League season. 2 minutes added on, as you saw by the board held up there, and there's the referee's whistle. Judging by Chelsea have to win, but they're not mentioning anything about the Premier League. They're celebrating, but I think it's only the victory. We'll see how Tottenham got on. I didn't do anything in that game. Tottenham drew 2-2 with Bournemouth. Tottenham Hotspur win the Premier League by a point from Chelsea and by a point from me. And we finish 3rd by a point from Liverpool. So we will get group stage action in the Champions League next year assured. We won't have to go through the 4th qualifying round. Liverpool will. What a tight league race that was. 3 points between 1st and 5th. That's unreal. Right, I'm going to go and advance to the end of the season, and then we'll have a season roundup. Right, it's the end of the season, the end of our 7th season, and our undeniably most successful season to this point in the save. I got 171.3 million for finishing where we did in the league. So I'm quite happy with that. We should, especially considering we've got Champions League football next year, get quite a big boost to our transfer budget, I'm hoping. Going to carry over about 16 million to next season. I do, however, have a number of contracts to offer to players whose contracts are running out in currently a year and 1 month. So I'm going to do that now to lessen the effect on next season's budget. But the leagues or competitions that we were involved in this year, a 3rd place finish for us in the league, obviously, as we saw a moment ago. Spurs winning the league from Chelsea, from us, on goal difference. A point from Liverpool, a point from Man City. Leicester in 6th, who could yet qualify for Europe if Chelsea win the Champions League, I think. I'm not quite sure how that works, actually. Depends who's in the Europa League final as well. And to be fair, ourselves and Manchester City, both in the FA Cup final, both in Europa League football, both already in European football, so I'm not sure what happens to the Europa League spot from the FA Cup final. Arsenal 7th and Man United 8th, and a big gap down to West Ham in 9th. Relegated are Everton and Blackburn, and unfortunately for them, Leeds weren't quite able to turn it around for them. It's a poor season for Leeds United, and they're relegated. It's an even poorer season for Everton, just the 2 wins. The FA Cup was a win for us. Cambridge 3, Manchester City 0 earlier on in today's episode. I can't quite believe we've won the league, the FA Cup. I certainly can't believe we won the league because we haven't done that yet. Carabao Cup was won by Manchester United. Congratulations to them. The Champions League this year was fought between Chelsea and Juventus. We know that from a little pop-up in the previous game. And Chelsea win the Champions League. Congratulations to them. The Europa League was won by... We will find out in a moment. One moment more. Manchester United. So they'll qualify for the Champions League, even though they finished 8th in the Premier League. So I have no idea what teams are going to be in Europe from England next year. None whatsoever. Confederations Cup was played out at the beginning of the... Oh no, Confederations Cup is being played out now. Okay, fair enough. Not really too bothered about that competition. Let's see who we might well be facing in Europe next year. We'll go through the other leagues in England first. Huddersfield are back in the Prem next season with 104 points. Crystal Palace will join them. Stoke, I hope for their fans' sake that they get through in the playoffs after missing out on automatic promotion by goal difference. Stoke, Middlesbrough, Burnley and Cardiff in the playoffs. Relegated are Ipswich, Charlton and Millwall. Coming up from League One, Sunderland with 100 points and Portsmouth, Coventry, Peterborough, Oxford and Sheffield United will play it out via the playoffs. Relegated are Blackpool, Bolton, Wickham and Doncaster. Coming up from League Two, Stevenage, Luton and Shrewsbury, Wimbledon, Grimsby, Accrington and Swindon all in the playoffs. Carlisle United and Macclesfield Town would have been relegated if the conference were on the game. In France, Paris Saint-Germain by 8 points. In Germany, Bayern Munich by 8 points. In Italy, Juventus by 14 points. Big season for Juve this year, although they lost the Champions League final, obviously. And in Spain, Real Madrid by 7 points. Barcelona only third. With regards to the Premier League, With regards to the Premier League, the Golden Boot goes to Gabriel Jesus with 21, Salah with 17, Kane on 16. Our highest goal scorer was Gerzic with 13, then Ziegler with 12, and Leao with 11. Switching to a 4-4-2 was certainly the best thing for us with regards our overall results and our goal scoring. Morelos with 10 goals as well. We may have conceded more with a 4-4-2, but we scored more and as a result won more. Assist-wise, Leao with 12 leads the way. Lookman with 7. Torreira there with 6. Gerzic with 6. I really don't know what to do with my strikers next year. Pau Lopez in goal for us doesn't get the Golden Glove, but Alisson pips him by 2. Shame. We could have gotten the Gold Glove there. We do get the assists, but you don't get anything for that. With regards to board objectives, we're on 80 overall manager rating. We weren't able to make a profit of a youth player this season, but we got 2 seasons to do that. The short-term one and brand exposure was carried over from last year, which we would have completed if it were this year's, because obviously we signed Rafael Leao. Long-term, still got the chance to do that in 3 seasons, no financial. Domestically, we did both, and continental-wise, nothing. But next year, we will have our first set of continental objectives. We finished 3rd in the league, which we did. They weren't the Europa League spot, actually, and they were the quarter-final of the FA Cup, and we won that. How my manager rating is only 80 is beyond me. With regards to the score, Gerzic has just gone up to 85 in the final month of the season. Attribute-wise, Pau Lopez still 87. No decline from him, crucially, yet at 30 years of age. Will continue to be my number 1. Mitov's still there as my number 2. Callum Green will probably be sold next year for, hopefully, a decent fee. Diogo Dalot, up 1, will continue to be my starting right-back. Bogle will continue to be my backup right-back. He's grown again, up 2 to 82. He's brilliant. We're going to be fine at right-back. Centre-back, Getrauda, Perella, Conti and Bailey are still my 4 main centre-backs. Although Lucas Henriksen is up 4 to 76 rated currently. And actually isn't that good technically, which is quite frustrating. Bailey is better technically, but not much better technically. Conti's probably going to be sold next year, just so you're aware. And I am going to look to strengthen at centre-back quite considerably. And we'll probably start to train Victor Perella as well. Probably start to train him. Although I don't know why his overall is only 83. 86 stand tackle, Oh, sorry, 86 slide tackle, 87 stand tackle, 99 short passing, 96 ball control, acceleration and sprint speed are great. Well, sprint speed is superb at 97. Jumping's 93, strength is 81. It's his marking that's quite low, and his heading accuracy. So maybe they're what can be worked on, and interceptions. No decline for Conti, which is good, and hopefully we can sell him for a decent fee next year as well. Bruce Wood growing up 4 to 78. Cameron Lee up 5 with yet more training. Unsure what to do at left back. I think Firpo might be sold, but it would only be to raise funds for other positions in the squad. Mancini's up 2 to 79. I could probably train him again. And then Cameron Lee. Well, Cameron Lee looks decent actually. I need to start training. Well, continue to train his defensive stats. I'm going to redo all of my training next season, I think. Firpo, I'm unsure what to do with. I could keep him as a squad player, but 15.5 million would be handy. It depends what our budget is next year. Oscar Hill up 1 to 80 this season. We started to train his passing stats at your guys' request, and he has improved slightly. Lucas Torreira came in and has grown 1 to 88. An average rating of 6.9 isn't the best, but 1 goal and 6 assists. Not all of them for us, some for Arsenal. He's still brilliant. I was really, really pleased with Lucas Torreira, actually. I'm very pleased that we made that signing. John Mikel Suarez Garcia up 2 to 80. Up 2 to 80 this season at 24 years of age. 5 goals, 3 assists. None of the goals coming in the Premier League, though. Toby Edwards up 3 also to 80. 91 acceleration. So if I can train his sprint speed still, he could be decent. What's he worth, actually? 21 million. Wow. 4-star skills on him as well. Physicals that let the players down again, because technically the youngsters always grow really, really well, especially with training. Tom Davies is 84 rated still. No growth or decline for him. An average season, but still going to be very good for me in a squad role next year with extra competitions on the line. Patrick Turner's growing well. 89 short passing, 96 stand tackle, 89 long passing as well. But again, physically let down. Lewis Baker, a little bit better physically, but still not that good. Technically, though, very good. And he's 5-star as well. Will Harrison, physically dead. Technically still dead, but he's only 18. Ademola Lookman up 1 to 86 this year. A quieter year for him. 7 goals, 7 assists. Still decent, but we'll want more from him next year. But I don't think his first team spot is under threat. Javier Morales, his position at the club, or his role at the club, altered throughout the season, but still a great year for him. 10 goals, 3 assists in the Premier League, 6 in 6 in the FA Cup. Certainly his competition this year. And an assist. 19 goals all told for the season. Will continue to start in midfield alongside Lucas Torreira next season. Rizzo's up 3 to 74. Probably send him out on loan again next year. Herbert Ziegler, 85 rated. Growing really nicely, Herbert Ziegler. Still, without training, of course. 12 goals, 2 assists in the Premier League as well. My second highest goal scorer, I think, in the Premier League. So, absolutely brilliant from him. He's valued at 45 million. Which we know where to go if we need to raise some cash, but Ziegler stays. Benedict Monnier. There's cash. I don't like him. Technically, he's superb. 5 99s there. Ball control, long shots, short pass, shot power, and volleys. But he's not very good in game, which is a real shame. So I'm going to sell him next year. Rafael Leao will stay, I think. 11 goals, 12 assists. 23 goal contributions in 32 games in the Premier League. Shows that he should stay, I think. And Gerzic stepped up with his goals later in the season as well. So fair play to him. 19 goal contributions in 30 games for him. 13 goals, 6 assists. So I think we'll stick with the same top 2, but I'll certainly look for another striker. Certainly look for another striker next year to replace Benedict Monnier. Colin Cooper. Still potential of the 90s for him. I don't know what to do with it. Well, I'll certainly keep him, but whether I send him out on loan again or not, I'm not sure. Dennis Adebola up 3 to 83 as well. 2 goals, 3 assists for him. 1 goal as well in the FA Cup. Growing really well. Growing very well, in fact. But not yet starting ahead of not yet starting ahead of Adamola Lookman on the left-hand side. With regards to financial, I do have a number of players, as you can see here, that all have just 1 year left on their contract. So I'm going to go and offer them all extensions to their deals. And then we shall start the next season in tomorrow's episode and take it from there. But that is all for Season 7. Drop the video a like if you enjoyed. Subscribe to the channel to make sure you don't miss out on Season 8. Of course, this is our best season so far, so I do hope you've dropped the video a like. Make sure you subbed for next season, and I will see you in the next one. Let's hope for a big budget, shall we? See you later.